It's an altogether manic and ceaseless conversation. A conversation that feels sometimes like falling downstairs, barely keeping upright, taken by gravity, skipping, grasping, and then somehow landing magically on one's feet, intact and triumphant. Hello and welcome to Under the Cult of MS. This is the first episode of our YouTube podcast. That was a little quote from Nathan Hill from Wellness. This would be episode 614 of the Under the Cult of podcast, an MS episode, My Life with MS. And with the MS stuff, multiple sclerosis stuff, I like to go through any past brochures, information, stuff that I've been emailed or sent or given from all kinds of multiple sclerosis related organizations and companies, and I give my opinion and just go over it. I am not a doctor. Do not take my opinion literally. If you like anything you hear and it interests you, then go and talk to your physician, your PCP, your neurologist, your MS specialist, or whoever can help you out with those things and give you the answers you need instead of trusting my opinions. My opinions are pretty much for how I feel and with my relationship with MS. I'm sorry if the camera shakes every now and then. I got restless leg syndrome is another condition I deal with. Uh, and I constantly shaking my legs in there. When they touch the edge of the table, everything starts vibrating. That one thing about restless leg syndrome, I had it bad at nighttime too, but now I don't that much. Once in a while, but my dog and then my cat decided that laying tight against my legs on top of the blankets was going to stop me from irritating them while they were trying to sleep. My legs kept moving. Somehow, some way, some shape, some form, that ended up mellowing out my restless leg syndrome. Uh, at nighttime, at least. During the day when I don't have them against my legs, and I still have to deal with it. As far as I noticed, it's been almost around about a month since the last MS episode that I did on the audio podcast. That's was through Anchor FM, and then Anchor FM, I guess, got bought out by Spotify because also we had all new Spotify homepages and stuff, and then they combined with Riverside for doing podcasting in video format, and then you could get Spotify, Riverside, audio, video episodes. I did not like the way the Riverside videos came out when I did try them. Today I went in and I was all ready to start it up, try it again fresh, and the page won't come up. So they're having problems with that, I guess, and I'm just not going to play that game waiting to see what's happening with whether or not it's going to be fixed by tomorrow or next week or the week after that or a month from now or who knows. But since that was irritating me and I wanted to get something out today, I figured, what the heck, I will try YouTube podcast again. I tried it one other time with an AI interview that I did with Chad Kulchin from Dudesy. Didn't really get the attention I was expecting it to. So I'm hoping this will. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We're in the middle of winter. It's in the 40s in Wisconsin. We had only a couple weeks of actual snow so far, where we should have had 3 months of snow already. It's like November was quiet, December was quiet. We had a green Christmas, and the New Year hit, and then we finally got a pile of snow that lasted a few weeks But now it's all melted and away, and tomorrow we're gonna get some more snow. I had to go in for issues with my leg hardening. I mentioned on the other past podcast about put my leg against the stupid leg of the table. Uh, if you do follow my podcast, you know I've mentioned in the past that about 6, 7 years ago, my sleeping, talking about animals sleeping with you in the bed, my dog started having seizures and stuff, and during a seizure, she clawed into my calf of my left leg, and ever since then, it would like ooze a little bit and harden, and you get a little crusty scab stuff on it. And I'd scrape it off, and then it would just pus a little bit more out there, and just keep doing that. And there's always a little hard area, about the size of a $50 or so around the wound, maybe a little bigger than that, but it would grow a little bit and then shrink a little back to normal size. It was just hard, hard tissue. And I mentioned it to a couple doctors. They said whatever. They didn't have no real opinion about it either way that mattered. They didn't look into it further. They didn't have any ultrasounds or scans or anything done to it to see if there was any issues. But I went in recently because the whole leg started hardening, or the whole from the knee down, and that is on my leg that I had cut open after the jackass kicked out my knee in my mid 20s, and then I had that surgery by a doctor that disappeared after his son got killed from a drunk driver, and I have no idea whatever happened to him. I requested records, I requested papers, I requested all kinds of things. No one ever responded. We went back up to his office. Oh, month or two after my surgery, and tried to get in there and see what's up, and the office is all locked up. And I know he traveled back and forth to Africa a couple times a year to go do surgeries over there. So I think after his son got killed, I think he just kind of lost it and went over there for good for a while or something like that. Who knows? I haven't tried to get back up to him or anything since then, after spending a few months trying to get a hold of him. And the day of the surgery, they sent me home with the full knee surgery. I got about a 15-inch scar where they cut me. They took chunks of bone out. They replaced ACL, MCL, meniscus. They ground out the whole bone on bone area and tried to get rid of some of the arthritis. And when I got home, they sent me home that day after the surgery. I figured I'd be in the hospital for a few days, but now we live in a society where they want to shove you out the door as soon as possible to save from all the extra cost or hassles, I guess. I don't know why they rush things. But when we got home, I was in the passenger front seat of the truck, and I was just sliding off my seat. And as soon as my legs touched the ground and I started to put pressure on them, I heard a pop, and the ACL blew out. So surgery was a waste. And future doctors basically said, well, we'll fix you when you're 50. Then 50 came, and then they're like, we'll fix you when you're 60. But that, I just accepted that I'll never get it fixed. So I'm obviously going to have to live with it the rest of my life. I've been living with it since my mid 20s. So it's like, how long we got to wait, who knows? I don't understand the philosophy of that. I was working 2 full-time jobs all the way up into my mid 40s, and that didn't matter to him. Uh, Basically, you can deal with your leg blowing out on a regular basis. It's like I fought through it for many years, had it constantly blowing out, buckling, slipping on just the tiniest little slip on moisture pathways or ice or anything like that. It would instantly blow out walking in walk-in coolers and stuff with that dampened floor and that tiny little slippage. It would blow out, which isn't a good thing when you're carrying a half barrel of beer and your knee buckles and you're going down with that keg on top of you, uh, or you're pulling the keg off a stack of kegs and your leg buckles and then out the whole top of the stack goes and possibly other stacks. It's kind of dangerous, but they didn't give a shit. They're like, yeah, you're not worthy enough to have anything done to you. You don't mean anything to society. So we'll just deal with you in your 50s, 60s, or never. Uh, I did recently visit, I mentioned on the audio podcast that, well, with my deformed left foot on that left leg, it's like so many struggles with that. I figured, what the heck? Try and sit there and see what options I had. And I talked to my foot doctor, and I can have that foot broken. That rehabilitation is going to be a bitch to get through, but the past 20 some years haven't been really enjoyable either. So I think dealing with rehabilitation after getting my foot broke and hope that maybe it grows back somewhat normal instead of having that tilt to it would be nice. Even if it took me a month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 6 months of physical therapy to get through it, I'd still love to take that chance. And then my knee doctor, the new experimental gel injections we were doing, I think it was once a week for 3 weeks. I think I went in. You can hear all about it on my audio podcast, but yeah, we just, the last round didn't do nothing, and each year when I go in for it, it cost me out of pocket a bunch of money. So it was a real bummer this year when it didn't do nothing. I was actually in more pain after the first, second, and third injection. Each time it got a little worse. So that wasn't a good. It sucked. Uh, so I asked her also. I'm like, can a person have the option to have their legs amputated from the knees down? And apparently I can. So it's things that I am considering in the future, just because you can't walk like a normal person with the damn legs, and the legs are causing all kinds of other issues. Might as well chop the damn things off. But we'll see what happens in the future. But I sat there and had some issues the past 6 months where from the knee down, the whole foot, calf area, everything, ankle, on the left leg, uh, puffs up and areas of it harden, and it gets the whole back half of solid black and blue, hardened, kind of like curved, hardened into it. It started hardening all the way around the sides and towards the front. Very painful. Like, just tried all kinds of things, massages, ice, compressions, all kinds of things. And the compression stuff would shrink it down, but the hardening would stay there, or it would get really soft and just have a little area of hardening still left, and then it would regrow out and spread out again, and just back and forth, just constantly going on with that. So I'm like, yeah, I better at least have it checked out, because I lost two uncles, I think it was, to blood clots in the legs and groins. So it wouldn't hurt to make sure that there's no blood clot activity. So they sent me in and we did an ultrasound. Ultrasound luckily came out positive, negative for blood clot activity, so that's a good thing. And then they sent me to a lymphedema type doctor that takes care of lymphedema issues, which is basically the hardening of the skin and stuff in the legs. And so now I look like a kickboxer with my legs. So I got like 3 different colored medical wraps around each leg from the knee to the toes. I got to wear that at least 23 hours a day. So basically, I just leave it on for a couple days at a time. Take it off, take a shower, put it back on, try and live like that for a while. And I will have therapy every week, but I thought it was some type of physical therapy, but here's the therapy where I go in and massage style therapy. They work the muscles, they work the areas to try and get or what the lymphedema liquid is in our bodies to get that flowing better. I have all this wonderful paperwork that came with it. Oh, it's a manual lymph drainage program that I'll be going through, where they'll be working certain areas of my body to get the lymph juice draining into the way it's supposed to, so it can flow better. Work with the white blood cells, I guess, and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll get into it more in the future as I learn more, but I'm still fresh and new to it, and just learning about it. So we'll see what happens. It's funny because you even use the medication breathing techniques, the yoga breathing techniques, and stuff that I had to use when I do those. And it's basically where you're breathing in through your nose and you're sucking your stomach in as you breathe in, and then breathing out in a longer format through your mouth, and then you're pushing your stomach out when you're doing that, and that helps to get those lymph valves and stuff working properly and get the flow of the juices going and stuff with the white blood cells and everything, working everything together, getting things pumping through the veins and all that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See if I'm permanently wearing leg wraps now or what's going on. But she decided to wrap both legs, even though I only have it in the one leg. But she's like, this way it'll help get the flow going evenly through the body better. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. It's I don't mind it, except for my flesh did have a few heat spells last night. In bed, I just left my feet dangle outside the covers because I knew that they'd overheat and bug me. And with having multiple sclerosis, of course, overheating can set off other issues with me. But yeah, so I'll let you know what's up with that in the future and see what happens. I went to the first Comic Con of the year this past Saturday, and I am paying for it to this day. The usual, where every cell, every body part, every bone, every tissue, every drop of fluid in my body, everything, every microbe, everything in my body feels like I basically got attacked by a group of people with baseball bats, and they just beat the crap out of everything that's my body consists of. And it's just always got that beaten, bruised feeling throughout the because of multiple sclerosis at all times, but going to the con this weekend and them not having any chairs available to sit and take breaks or anything. Had to go through the whole floor just in one shot, and I was in so much pain. Halfway through it, I was in so much damn pain. By the end of it, I could barely walk out the door to get out to the car. We had a walker with us, but we took a non-seated walker. Took the little triangle one, so it's smaller and easier to get around people and stuff. Just so we'd have something to put our bags on and not have to carry stuff. But last time we were there, they had tables and chairs the last few times. So I expected it to be the same layout, but they had some Lego convention down in the other pavilion connected to it, so I'm guessing that they had to send all the chairs down that way or something, but that's just wrong. I mean, comic conventions, there are a lot of disabled people that go to those, and there's a lot of people in their wheelchairs, but there's also a lot with walkers and canes, and they could have definitely used a place to sit. The people that did decide to get something to munch at the cat concessions and sit down and eat, or just to sit down and take a break, they're all sitting on the floor looking sad. It's just, it was not, that was not right at all. You should not do that to people. And it's just, has to be some type of seating somewhere. The seats that they did have that they gave to the people at their booths were just the standard metal folding chairs that you use for on wrestling events that they beat each other over the heads with. And it was funny because just walking down the first aisle, I seen at least a half a dozen of them that were completely broken. Because you put someone in those chairs that weighs over 120 pounds, those things they don't hold up for shit. Those are the stupidest chairs ever made. So I go with the solid chairs that you don't fold up, that you can stack nicely. You can stack them to the ceiling if you want, and they hold up. They can hold 3, 4, 500 pounds, no problem. Unless you're bouncing around, then you might stretch out or bend a leg or something like that. The standard metal folding chairs, all they're good for is being used in the wrestling events. That's why they can beat the shit out of each other with them and smack each other in the head 20 times with the same chair. You just see the thing folding and bending and moving every time it gets hit. It's like it's such thin metal. It's just crap. But what you gonna do? But today is Wednesday, and I am still 10 times more bruised feeling than normal. My bones, the bone marrow itself, is screaming out in pain. My ribs feel like they're broken. And it's all just from not being able to take a break and having multiple sclerosis. Everybody deals with the muscle and bone pain issues, but a lot of people do and can understand. But it's how it works for me. So that's how mine works. And it is a snowflake disease. Everybody's different. So you never know what you're going to get if you do get the MonSter. But yeah. Uh, I want to get into some things from my files that I have, but I think I'm just going to put this one out here today first, and then I'll do another one with looking into some old information I was given and see if it has any benefits to me, or let you know what other people are talking about and see if it benefits you. I will do that in the future. Today, I just want to get this one out, see how the whole podcasting thing goes, and I gotta quit. I just can't. Just mentally can't. Stupid cock fog. His brain just won't comprehend. See, I'm talking about it right now, and my right leg's going like crazy all of a sudden. I'd like to get out and do some more walking videos, even though it's the middle of winter since we finally got green grass out there, but it looks like we're gonna get snow overnight, so we'll probably have about 4 inches, 4 to 6 inches probably by morning. That'll put a damper on the walker again. I might get out today and get a little one done because I'd like to go get the trail cameras. I grabbed one of my trail cameras and all the trail camera SD cards the other day, but I think that camera got froze up when we dropped below zero and the batteries were all out of juice. And so I swapped the batteries out, but it's still not reading the SD cards. So I'm going to grab one of the other cameras and see if I can get that one to work. And then get my camera set up. So I might take a little cruise with the walker today. I don't know if I'll do a video or not. We'll see. You'll know if I post it. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna try and keep these coming out on a regular basis, at least once a week. Uh, Preferably a couple a week, but we'll see. Uh, I am. I think mid-April was my MS neurologist appointment with my brand new neurologist, the one I originally wanted, and I got the other old fart that didn't have no interest in being a doctor anymore. So at least that's how I took it, because he was just done with everything once COVID hit. I knew he was going to leave his practice, and I'm glad he finally did. And I wanted this one that I'm getting when I originally got the other one, but every time I want a doctor, they always give me the opposite one that's working there. They never give me the one that I am requesting and requiring. So this one will be fun to work with, and hopefully he can come up with some new stuff for me. I don't know what's going to happen with the DMT thing. I did finish Mavenclad off about 6 months ago or so, and was told by my last neurologist, MS neurologist, that I wouldn't need to be on another disease modifying therapy for 5 to 10 or forever years. So we will sit there and see what this other neurologist says. I think I should be on one. I was feeling better than I have in 15, 20 years after the second year of Mavenclad, but I am, like I said, my pains and stuff are amping up. My gait issues are amping up again all of a sudden in the past month or so. So I'm kind of wanting to, if I do go on one, from the research I've been doing the past month, I would like to be on one that's a B cell related therapy, because that has seems to have the most promising potential for our DMTs out there currently. But we'll see what the doctor has to offer, and I'll let you know what he tells me with all my stuff. Like I said, it doesn't matter because it's me, and we all have our own ways of the dealing with the disease. It's like, talk to your doctor and get set up with your own version of therapy and medication, all that. Don't follow my path. Listen to my path. Make your own opinions about it, and you can take any of the stuff that interests you to your doctor and talk to them about it. Like, but other than that, I don't think I have any upcoming appointments other than these weekly therapies I'll let you know about. It is the February already, and I do like to get a lot of my doctor appointments for the year out of the way early. I know that my PCP's sending me things, nagging me to get in for my health and wellness exam. I'm like, well, I want to make sure it's been a year, because if I get it done before the year mark, then my insurance won't cover it for some stupid reason. It's like I should be able to get it once a year, but I shouldn't have to wait till exactly a year or more after the last one. I think that's so stupid. So I used to get them done in January, and then for a while there, I was getting them done in October, and now it's like February, March. It just keep bouncing around. We'll get that done and out of the way here within the next month or so. But I am actually looking forward to the results of the blood test, because I will find out how my T and B cells have reformed and stuff since we've been done with Mavenclad. Like, the first year was rough. The T and B cells didn't recover well. The new ones that came back still attacked my body. Second round, less T and B cell issues, but it's slowly kind of reverting back to the way I felt before I started Mavenclad. So uh, we'll see what happens. Gotta have happy thoughts. Hope the monster goes away as much as possible, and we can sit there and live as enjoyable a life as possible, as painless as possible. Uh, but yeah, I can't really think of any other new, fresh news that I wanted to go over. But we're we're just over the 30-minute mark, so I want to try and see how this works out on YouTube, and then I'll come back. And it is the middle of the week, maybe before the weekend. I'll put one out discussing stuff that I have in my files. If not, it'll be early next week. I will get back, but it just all depends what happens. I got a ton of stuff going on. I'm waiting on a plumber right now. Doctor yesterday. Doctor next. Oh, I suppose I don't have another doctor till next Thursday. So I'll definitely get one out either early next week or by the end of this week yet. If this one even gets out, I don't know when. If I'll get it out today or tomorrow. I'm still playing with the new YouTube podcasting thing format and seeing how it goes, and then we'll just see what happens. So I appreciate it. If you can subscribe, tell a friend, rate, review, pass it along, put it on any of your MS posts, and just let people know if you do like it. I don't make nothing off this. I've been doing it free. I have over 600 episodes of audio stuff. I have who knows how many hundreds of episodes of YouTube. Now I started doing little short videos on Instagram. I'm looking at playing with TikTok finally. And I like doing the audio video on the YouTube. And I don't really do the audio only. I just do the video stuff at the moment, but this one will hopefully come out audio and video, I assume, since it's under the podcasting platform. So if you don't care to watch the videos and you just want to listen to audio, I'm hoping that's how it works. That's why I want to end this and look at it and see what happens, see how it comes out. But do that for me. Keep following Under the Cull of MS. Just do your @ symbol under the Cull of MS with no spaces or anything, and just that'll give you all the different platforms and areas you can find all my stuff. If you want more of me, which I don't know why you would, but might give you something to listen to. Might be entertaining. I've heard that my voice is calming, I guess, and enjoyable to some people. I know my wife, she loves listening to the podcast, but 5, 10 when she goes to bed and is laying down, but within 5, 10 minutes she's snoring away. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I guess it calms her enough to put her to sleep. So. And she does watch all my videos. I catch her watching them when I'm not around, so that's a good thing. Yeah, so keep checking these out. I will try and keep them out on a regular basis. It's been a month, but I don't know what's going on with Spotify and Riverside, so I'm not gonna keep waiting for them to get their stuff figured out. I'm gonna try this YouTube and hopefully it'll go good. And then in the future, we'll see what happens. Like I said, Instagram, possible TikTok, and there's lots of stuff. Check out at Under the Cull of MS, and you'll find it, find everything that you can't get your hands on, and then help me get followers by subscribing, rating, telling your friends, or taking your friends' phones and just putting my stuff on their podcasting platform so they can subscribe that way. You can subscribe for them, and then they don't have to listen to it if they don't want, or they can. See what happens. But yeah, we'll talk to you again soon. Have fun. Have a great week. Kick the shit out of the monster. Hope you feel as good as possible. And we'll talk to you again soon.